Hi, Friends and Frogs. How's everybody doing? I'm not sure I like that blurred background. I got too much going on back there. How's everybody doing? How's your Tuesday? It is Tuesday, isn't it? It is Tuesday. Had to make sure. I'm kind of suffering from pink eye, so you have to forgive me. Um, I'm just done. I'm over it. I've been sick since November of last year, and I'm just not even worried about it anymore. I'm just gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy. I was just wondering, had anybody ever thought, okay, I've been born in the wrong time? And when I was younger, in my teens, I thought I wanted to be born in the 50s. And right now I'm thinking um, that I think I would like to be born about 1880 to 1930. I think I would like to be born. And it's not any other reason than I know there was depression. It would be coming up. I mean, things were probably a little bit harder then, but society had its norms, and society was very picky about who they let in and who they let out. I mean, you couldn't lie, you couldn't have plastic surgery, you couldn't be fake, you couldn't even back in the 80s when I was going to school, if you wore a wig to school, you were considered fake. You were considered it wasn't even fake. Why are you wearing a wig? You know what? We used our natural hair, and I thought it was kind of awesome. Now everybody runs around with a wig or weave or however you want to say it, or people lie and they continually are proven to be a false person, but they're still in society. They're still being recorded. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because it's getting, for one, it's getting on my nerves. And for another, it's Meghan and Harry. Meghan and Harry are probably the most talked about people, and they really shouldn't be. I shouldn't even be talking about them, but it just tickles me that they think they can get away with so much and that they have gotten away with so much. Netflix still has a hold on them, and I get it. They want to kind of like be part of the divorce if and when a divorce is, coming. I don't know. I don't know anything of that nature. I'm sure one is coming because Meghan can't stand to be put second, and I wish she would. One thing that really gets my nerves about her is her putting her hands on him, and you can tell now. I mean, you couldn't tell before. I thought she was supporting him or whatever, giving him. But now you can tell through certain touches that she's telling him to get up. Come on, let's do this. She's being bossy, is what it is, and it's really annoying. I wish she just would not touch him at all. I like the royals, the Williams and the Catherines that do not that delay their PDA, so to speak. They, that's a private time for them. I like that about them. But I was watching on YouTube from old money documentaries about Gladys Deacon, how she was beautiful. Poets talked about her. People painted pictures of her, talked about her beauty. A lot of men were just smitten with her. And she ended up marrying the Duke of Marlborough, which was Winston Churchill's cousin, by the way. I thought that was kind of great. But this was after Consuelo and him had divorced. But she had felt like she wasn't the epitome of beauty yet, that she wanted that Greek god look. She had kind of a dip in her nose, and the profile wasn't the Greek goddess type that she wanted. So she had some paraffin wax, which is how they did their cosmetic surgeries that way with paraffin wax. And if you know what paraffin wax is, it's kind of a soft kind of wax. We dip it in especially when it's hot, we dip it in dip our hands in it to try to make them soft, or even our feet to try to get the calluses and stuff off of them. So the paraffin is kind of like a softer type of wax. And of course it would have melted, but she didn't know that. I mean, the cosmetic surgery was in our infancy. So when the heat came along and as the years went, her nose, the injection would move to different sides of her face, and it had distorted her natural beauty. And she didn't get all the admiration that she had before, but she was shallow enough to believe that she wasn't her own type of beauty, and in vain. It was some sort of vanity that also was made her be judged. So still married, she had an awful background. I won't even go into that. So she did have some other issues in her mental state that made her crazy. Now, at this point, if you compare her to Meghan, Meghan wouldn't be half as recorded as back in those times as she is now. You know, she's lied, she's manipulated, she's created this fantasy life of hers, and all of it is all obvious to us that all these things that she's uh, curated, I'll say, are just lies and manipulation, and just for a platform for herself. Netflix is even, like I said, is willing to still keep her at a distance. And I'm like, why? Can we just shun her out of society and go on about our business? I don't want anything to happen to her or him. I really don't. I hope that they learn to accept life for what it is, and I hope that they can come to grips with what they have done and apologize for it, not just to the royal family and William and Catherine, but to us also. I hope that they can publicly say, hey, we've created this life and none of it is true, or this part is true and only this part is true. You never know. I hope they can find a really stable, natural way of living without being a lie. But for some reason, I just feel like they're not going to go away for a little while. We're going to be hearing about them for 10 more years down the road, and that's a shame because nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all. But anyway, I was just here just wondering if anybody else had that thought, like what time period would you care to have been born in? I mean, I love my life. I love that I've helped in the creation of my children, and I'm not sad or anything. But if I thought if I ever could go back in time and live somewhere, it would be between 1880 and 1930. But if I have any content that you like, would you like and subscribe and kind of let YouTube know that I do have fans out there that are willing to uh, interact with me, interact with my YouTube, interact with anything I say, and that would be lovely. I would be rather grateful for that. But yeah, just wondering, is it just me? But yeah, when I was 16, I really thought I should have been born in the 1950s, and then as I've gotten older, I like the Bridgerton era, like the Downton Abbey era, and I really wish I could watch the Gilded Age. I haven't been able to watch any of that yet. I haven't had money to do it, to subscribe to any of the channels that is carrying it, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And Meghan. Why does she have to be so fake? Why can't she accept that she's not as talented, that she's not as beautiful, that she's not as great as people may seem to think she is? I don't know. I don't think it's people telling her. I think it's her own brain making her think. But she's just not. She's just not that great of a person. I don't think I wouldn't be friends with her. I know she's lied. I'm not saying on what. I know she's lied, and I know most of her life is fabricated. And if you listen to some of her conversations, most of the ideas that she has come from other people. So these are not even her original ideas that she's talking about in her podcasts or TV shows at all. But she won't say, okay, this was so and so's idea, or this is so and so's reputation. She won't even recipe. She won't even give proper credit to the person that came with. I found this on Pinterest. I thought we might try this. Hey, I had this idea only because so and so else had this idea, so I'm basing it off of that. I mean, she won't even go there. So we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to know what their future holds, only because I just want to wake up without having somebody talk about Meghan. I mean, she's getting what she wants. People are talking about her, good or bad. She don't care. people, attention addicts, they don't care how you get the attention, whether it's good or bad. They want the attention. But I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day, and that you can wake up and be happy too, whether you have pink eyes or hives or ear infections or it's depressing. My old year has been so depressing. But I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy anyway. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.